Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course.
Brad, it's been getting a little warmer in here.
Yeah, it's May, things are warming up, I'm telling you, it's getting stuffy.
The air's not flowing in here. I think it's time to invoke our casual wear rule.
Right, one little snap of the finger.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I feel a lot better now,
Yeah,
Bob.
I do too. And actually, I feel a lot better because I have a shirt that's worth wearing as opposed to...
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some kind of logo here. It says Vikings. I'm not sure if that's a football team or not. But anyways, let's get to the subject. Now that we're cooled off, I want to talk about, in therapy, the need for cooling down the body is very valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have a bunch of recipes today that you can use to create an ice pack on your own. And these are very helpful. They create nice ice packs that you can use. And by the way, Brad, I work with the elderly a lot, as
Sure,
you do.
right.
So we always try to give them the warm ice. That's just a joke. There's no warm ice. Okay. All right, let's go ahead, Brad. What do you want to start with? Which one do you want to start with?
Okay, so why would you make your own ice pack as opposed to going to the store to buy one?
Less expensive.
You'll save about $10 to $20,
Right.
and they work equally as good, and sometimes I think they're better. All you need is a few simple ingredients. There's a lot of different recipes you can get on the internet. Of course, ours are the best, and we'll give the best instructions. You can use just some regular rubbing alcohol here.
That's for one type.
That's one type. The other type is you can go to the kitchen and pull out some salt.
Right.
Now, I've got some canning salt here. You can use that.
But I would think that just about anybody would have salt.
Right. Actually, I got some margarita salt, you know, because it's getting
Sure.
old. So, but any kind of salt you can get from the kitchen. And let's talk about the rubbing alcohol one first.
Okay.
This is the one I've been recommending this to my patients for over a dozen years now, and I always have good feedback. They're real happy with how they work. And what you do is you take a freezer bag, okay? Not a storage bag. Freezer bag's a little heavier duty, and they'll last a little bit longer, okay? You're gonna take the freezer bag. Here's my lunch box. They work good for keeping your lunch cold as well. Now, this one I've already made. And you mark it, so you know what it is. It's clearly labeled.
Yeah, you label it so
Yeah.
that when you find this in the refrigerator,
Yeah.
in your freezer, you know what it is.
Bob, can you help me out here?
Sure.
It's nice to do this with two people. Okay, you take your rubbing alcohol, you're gonna pour in 1 cup. This is a 1 gallon freezer bag, 1 cup of rubbing alcohol. I'm doing pretend here so I don't make a mess. You pour that in there, 4 cups of water right out of the tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Now, this is the hardest part of the whole deal, is when you close it up, you wanna get all the air out, okay? And it just works better, and you can do that however you can do it. Close up the zip, and you'll end up with something looking
Brad,
like
do you
this.
use 2 bags or not?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I'm
So
gonna
he
show
puts a
that
bag
right
inside
here.
of a bag, okay.
Yeah, there we go. And you don't have to do that, but it gives it more strength.
And more unlikely, and less likely to, spill on you.
Right, and there on the internet, there's a
Lean
thing,
on you.
there's directions, a recipe.
good.
Oh yeah, a recipe that put a little coloring, food coloring in there, so you have a colored alcohol bag. You can do that; it looks nice, but if it
You'd
does
recommend
break
against
loose, if it breaks loose and you're on your white sofa and you're icing your back down and you have red food coloring in this, and you're gonna stain your couch. So
So that's not our recommendation.
right, just mark it like I have marked here, and you know what you have in there. And like I said, I've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patients use these and give great feedback. My mother uses them, I use them at home. I really think they get colder than the gel ones.
It's nice you can make quite a few of these,
Yeah.
especially, can keep one that could be freezing up while you're using the other one.
Exactly. And then you put it in the freezer flat, works the best. And when you pull it out the next morning, and actually this is the problem with this one, it was not gelled enough. It should turn into slush. And that means I have a little bit too much alcohol in here, so I'm going to add a little bit more water in here, put it back in the freezer, and it should be a slush consistency so that you can bend it back and forth. It'll wrap around the injured area and cool it down for 15 to 20 minutes.
All right, let's go to the salt-based one.
All right, the salt. And the whole thing is ratio. You want to get the specific gravity of the
Sure.
fluid to a certain number so that it does not freeze and you just end up with slush. what is the ratio? It's 4-to-1 with the rubbing alcohol, it's 12-to-1.
12-to-1 for the,
Right, so if you're gonna put in 1 cup of salt, you're gonna put 12 cups of water, which means
Right.
a really large bag. So just use the ratio and use a 1/4 cup and put 12 1/4 cups in. And
Right.
I actually have one here that I made with salt. And, you know, I never use salt, and I tried to look it up on the internet last night, so I have a nice sample here. And I tried to use my memory, and I thought it was 6-to-1. So I went 6-to-1, and it came out liquidy. Way too much salt, the specific gravity is not near close enough to where it needs to be. So if I added another 6 parts of water to this, it would be fine, and I could put it in.
sure,
and
or
it should come
6
out
cups of
slushy.
water, 1/2 cup of salt. That's
Right,
a-
right.
Do you think 6 cups of water would fit in here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think
probably
so.
6 cups of water, 1/2 cup of salt, and you're probably set.
And a gallon freezer bag. So, you know, there are all kinds of weird recipes.
Yeah, there's another recipe that you can actually use 1/3 cup of vodka, 80 proof, by the way, they want a specific proof even on it, and 2 cups of water. We haven't tried this one.
We don't recommend
You see
it to our
bottles,
patients.
yeah, right, we don't really want to go down that path.
I did have a patient when I talked about the alcohol, and this is when I first got into therapy, and he literally went home. His brother owned a bar, and he got a bottle of Jack Daniels, and it worked out well. He said.
Wow.
But it did
That's
break open.
expensive.
It broke open too. He said his couch smelled like Jack. But
Which, by the way, it leads us to, it really doesn't lead us to, but we're going to talk about our trivia question of the day. Since we're talking about things that freeze, do you remember, I'm going to have you put this picture up, Nancy. Bingo. All right, do you remember, can you tell who this guy is? He was in a movie, 1997. I think most of you are going to know who he is. Not based upon this picture, but once we tell you who he is. So if you know the answer, put it down below. And also, Brad, we want to remind everybody to subscribe to us.
Right, absolutely, because we will help you out, especially if you're 40 years old and older. They have little tricks like cold packs that
Yeah,
can
help you to control pain, manage pain, also to help you stay healthy and fit well into your elder years.
right, active, because if you stay active, things are going to go much better.
And stay solid.